What's up, Beijing? Welcome back to another Booner vlog. We've got quite the video planned for today. We have a workout with someone who may be on the, let's say, opposite side of the fence a little bit. Associates a bit with some of the guys that, let's just say, might not particularly like me, and that's fine. I'm open to having these kinds of interactions, conversations, and so it's gonna make for a fun video. We're gonna get in there, we're gonna train hard, or in my case, I'm not gonna train hard. He's gonna train hard because, you know, the whole science-based thing. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some fun stuff. We're gonna talk about the science, the anti-science, all that jazz. So yeah, let's go have some fun.
All right, y'all. We got Nick Belyew today, aka what's it? Muscle recruitment. Recruitment. One of the OGs of the Atlanta bodybuilding space. He's more on the. I'll let you tell him what kind of what your methodologies are.
I'm not far from Michael. I mean, right now he's doing more of an upper-lower split. I'm doing push-pull legs off, push back and hands off. So I've always done some variation of a PPL. I think that that's best for me and my ability to recover and my strength. I've been exactly where he's at, and I've just kind of gravitated away from it a little bit, but it's still the same principles. It's the underlying mechanical tension, lower volume, recovery, all of that is very much in play. It's just, there's just some things that, you know, I don't see a problem with doing 10 to 15 rep range on some things and things like that. So, you know, we'll get him there one day.
Hey, it's not that I see a problem with it, it's just that I don't do it personally. Like, I still know that you'll grow from that. Yeah. But yeah, like he said, and this is a good example. Like, I've dogged on it before for memes and whatnot, but push-pull legs can be a great split, especially if you structure it and you program it intelligently like he does. Even though I would prefer to do a different split than PPL, that doesn't mean PPL is a bad split, and especially if you program it like he does, it can be really, really beneficial. But I think something that's funny is, like, you touched on like how you and I train pretty similarly. Like we're in alignment in a lot of different like areas and facets of training. But because of like the space that I've, you know, kind of grown into on social media, him and I are kind of like split, or at least that's how people want to view it on social media. Like, people would associate him with like the Runvises and the Phil Vizes of the world, or like, we can get into that later. Then I get associated with like the kids that are, you know, holding the handle and strapping up everything to their shoulder. Like, even though I don't do that, I still get associated with it. Y'all will see. We're gonna train hard. We're gonna have some fun, but we're gonna have some fun conversations too. Strong that dude.
I'm in a stable machine, so I don't need to sacrifice my form if I'm starting to get to failure. If I can't get the full rep, it does me literally zero benefit to cheat on that rep or use momentum so that I can lie to myself in my logbook. So if you're in a stable machine, just do perfect reps. I would log that as 10.5 reps in my logbook. I got 10 perfect reps and I got 1/2 rep. So next week I'm trying to get 11 perfect reps.
The kids will come into the comment section, even though like you did that with perfect execution, nothing was moving except your arms, because you're standing and you weren't like sitting down with everything strapped up, that it's not stable enough. Moving on, we just did incline Smith press, and I wasn't recording, I'm retarded, whatever. We're on to a tricep press on this flat beauty here. Are we good to use this machine? I want to accidentally kill that guy. Tricep pressing 101, tucked elbows, and you don't need to go too deep into it. If you notice, we're cutting off the range of motion before you go too deep, and you start to extend the shoulder, right? So you cut it off early so that it's mainly just elbow flexion and extension, right? That's all we need, because this is supposed to be for the triceps at the end of the day. The machine is low-key heavy though.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So one thing on the narrow press is you could definitely use this as like a JM press where there's more elbow flexion and bring it up to like your chin or your nose. I prefer most of the time to do a narrow press. And when I do this, y'all, your guys are gonna love this, but it's sometimes it's as simple as slightly tucking your elbows and thinking about your triceps loading up and pushing the weight. I literally come down fold the elbows, and I'm picturing the weight loading into my tricep, pausing there, and then extending out, thinking about pushing the load with my tricep.
And that makes sense if you don't think about it. Like, if you're focusing in on just the elbow flexion and extension part of things, and you're not as focused in on the shoulder flexion or horizontal adduction, which is what the chest is going to be doing, you know, it makes sense. So having that like kind of mental cue, the darn music, dude. Having that mental cue, like focusing in on just extending versus like driving, having that shoulder flexion or that horizontal shoulder adduction, like that makes all the difference. And it's a small nuance, but it can completely change like how you're executing the press. There's like a couple 44-pound plates around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's good that they like take the time to weigh them out and mark them correctly.
Oh, and they marked it?
Yeah, but
yeah, cheat code.
Those are the Instagram plates.
Yeah, fake weights. RIR people, I know. You get excited here. So when you're doing 2 sets and you get to a point that you don't think you can get one more rep, don't go for it. Don't take it. On your second set, sure, especially if you're in a stable movement, you can rack it, you have a spotter, go for it, go all out, whatever. But if there's 2 sets, if you know you can't get the next rep, rack it. Live to fight another day, take your rest period, and go to absolute failure, whatever you want to call it, on your second set. That first set, you don't want to fatigue yourself so much that the subsequent set isn't productive anymore. So just rack it. That is when using RIR wisely makes the most sense.
I don't know if you're familiar, there's this kid named Dev. Deadlifts, you might have seen him around.
Maybe.
But he's a demon, he's super strong. And he goes, like if there's a quarter of a rep that he could get, he's gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Like that's just how he trains, and I like it, it's cool. But like in terms of, if you wanna train that way, I think you should train that way. Like I'm a firm proponent of people training the way that they wanna train, where they're having the most fun. People enjoy doing that. But if you are wanting to like make the most optimal progress, then keeping that rep and like not going for it is going to be much more beneficial in terms of your second set,
right?
Like being stimulating. So like it's just something to keep in mind. It's a good point. It's a valid point.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Nick decided it's time to put me in my place, guys. I wasn't gonna tell you this because I didn't want to disappoint you, but the camera accidentally was not rolling when we were talking about all that stuff on the Smith machine. So we'll give you a quick overview. Essentially, learning to develop, like understanding biomechanics and how it applies to your form is important. That's something that a lot of the super nerdy guys on the science-based side of things tend to neglect. You see them strapping up in all of these different exercises, trying to make it as stable as possible. Meanwhile, you watch their form and they have their trunk moving around everywhere, their shoulders loose. Like, there's just too many variables that kind of negate all of the things that they're trying to do to make it more so, and it doesn't make sense logically. It's like, oh, I'm still doing the joint action, you know? Yes, you're doing the joint action, but it's how effectively you're accomplishing the movement, right? Just doing the joint action isn't necessarily good enough. You need to address your form issues, because it's not good enough just to like straight jacket yourself into a cable and go ham if your torso, your trunk is just like this, there, and everywhere, you know? So
there you go. You're strong on this. Super strong.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like my pressing is super weak, and then my pec flies are actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's not bad. That's like 3 to 4 RIR.
No! Oh, he did it. We're not dead stopping this either.
2 weeks. What's gonna happen? you see like certain movements that come up, like you see using this as support. Like I think it's great, and that actually is useful for sure. It's like having that support. Doing some of the setup stuff is fun for like a couple times, and then you're like, do I really feel like dragging this bench over here for an elbow extension, you know, it's like, I'm only doing 25 pounds. It's like, I don't know if that's necessary.
And like, this is another point at what we were talking about, just like form. Like, if you're going to straight jacking yourself to a cable machine, you better be damn sure nothing's moving.
Yeah.
It's like, you have more like different variables going on there, moving around, all this shit, than people who just do like the standing shit without anything else there. It's like, you can't make an argument if you're moving around more. As much as I want to buy into like the higher levels of stability stuff, it's like, you're not making a good argument here. Like, you're not making a good case. If you are someone who really likes to feel what's happening, you really like the squeeze, like all that, then doing something that's going to give you more of that is probably going to motivate you more to execute the movement properly. If you're doing a wide grip lat pull down, and no matter how good your execution is, you're just not feeling it the way that you would want to, and you're someone who prioritizes being able to feel like squeezy sensations and things like that, then you're probably not going to be motivated enough to like really overload that exercise over time. So like, I definitely get what you're saying, but it would be interesting to see. So he said he hasn't done a wide grip lat pull down or any sort of like shoulder adduction or abduction for 4 years. So it would be interesting to see like what your lower lats look like, because everyone's been talking about the lat debate. You've just been doing sagittal plane stuff. It'd be interesting to see like how, like, what's your height and weight right now?
5'10", 230.
5'10", 230, damn.
And my lower lats are huge.
Yeah? Okay. So there you have it. Lat debate ended. The sagittal plane rows worth the lower lats. 5'10", 230. Dadgum, dude, you're a demon.
Yeah, I dieted this year.
I was gonna say you're shredded too. What do you gotta be around 10 right now.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I stopped tracking all of my like I definitely had a very neurotic OCD type eating disorder. Like, I literally weighed every gram of rice for 7 years. I ate the same 7 meals every day for 7 years.
Yeah.
And this last year, it started after I got really peeled, like really peeled. When I reverse dieted out, I had basically created an eating disorder where I was binging a lot and like eating until I threw up. So I basically had this like moment where I just like totally surrendered my bondages around food. And I just let, like, honestly, I let like God just like do whatever he wanted with me. And it just disappeared. Like,
yeah.
I could not, I stopped tracking, which was really scary for me. Honestly, it sounds stupid, but it was scary for me. And I stopped doing that. And a year later, I was 240 and I looked better than I had ever looked. And I had no bondages around it. Eating, not tracking anything, eating whatever I want. And I looked better than I had in 7 years. I was able to go to like the park with my son and my wife and just chill and go 5 hours without eating. Just incredible, dude. So when I dieted, then it's time to diet. And I'm like, all right, I'm back to it, locking in. And I wasn't able to do it. Like, I was like, I can't go back to this. I did it for so long, it was so normal, but when I stopped, going back to it was like, it was hard, bro.
Right.
I'm not tracking anything. I eat oatmeal with protein powder, dark chocolate, and blueberries for 2 of my meals. And then I eat ground beef, white rice with hot sauce, Melendez hot sauce, and 0% Greek yogurt in every bite. So I have a tub.
That is a cheat code meal,
dude.
Like,
you've had that?
Yeah, of course. That's like, it's so filling. It tastes good. Like the hot sauce and low-fat Greek yogurt with the ground beef, like lean ground beef,
white rice, hot sauce, and Greek yogurt.
That's a demonic meal.
I have the tub of Greek yogurt, and I have my bowl, and I just take a spoonful of Greek yogurt, and I take a spoonful of hot sauce, rice, and ground beef. It's freaking killer.
W meal.
Yeah.
Have you ever competed?
No.
No? Any plans to?
No. After I got really shredded last time, I realized that like it just creates bad things, like the eating stuff and the binging and all of that. It's just like at what expense? I don't know. For years I should have and could have competed. I might as well have. I would have like walnut glutes and I just wouldn't do it. I was also coaching football, so I would be shredded in the summer when we're 4 days a week up there and it's hot and it's not a job that you can have low energy at. So like those last 2 to 3 weeks, like I would get like a 3-week outlook. Those last 3 weeks just like weren't possible. You know, I'd be like, couldn't stand up off the bench.
I feel like that's something that gets overlooked. What you mentioned first is like the mental side of it, bouncing back. Like not only during the like serious part of the cut, but also bouncing back from it.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be really strong mentally not to fall into some really bad habits.
Yeah.
You know?
The reverse diet, I see it a lot with my clients, is that it's even harder because there's no longer a goal right there. Like, you know, if you know you're about to stand up in trunks on a stage in front of people, you're not going to eat this donut or whatever. You're not going to cheat on your diet because there's motivation. It's like an embarrassment. Like I don't. There's no option.
Right.
Whereas when you come in the reverse diet, hunger is just the same. Even if you're eating more food, it might even be stronger. And mentally, there's no objective in mind to do it. It's like I'm not stepping on stage for another 18 months or a year. I might never do it again.
Right.
So staying is like almost impossible. And to your point, everybody will binge after their first show. Like unless you're just like so far, like I'm a foodie, if you're so far on the other side of the spectrum of that where you just hate food and you don't care and dieting is easy, but 99% of people will binge after they have a show. And the more seasoned that you get and the more shows that you do, the more mature you become in competitive bodybuilding. So you stop doing that as much. You take it more seriously, or you just learn how to manage it better. But it's something that everybody is going to, like, it's just so unnatural that it's just going to happen.
That slingshot effect that you have after the first show, or just the first shows, like however many you do, where you don't have like the mental fortitude to be able to kind of like set yourself down a certain plan. It's just like, it's so dangerous because it's not only going to be detrimental to your health and how your eating looks and how your nutrition looks for the next however long, and like developing this bad mindset about food, but it's also going to mess with your body dysmorphia, and like bodybuilders already have it pretty bad. It just makes it that much worse.
I've got a client now that's like coming out of his cut where he was shredded, and he's like, dude, I'm just fat. And I'm like, bro, like you're 210 pounds with like 7% body fat. Like stop saying you're fat, you know, like you're not. Another reason that I don't necessarily love upper lower is because like I just don't have it in me to do legs every other session. I'll be thinking about the hack squat like the night before, and it will like legitimately affect my day. So like if that's every other day versus once a week, then
so you train legs once a week?
Quads. I do the hams and the back together. And for hamstrings, I only do a lying leg curl and an RDL, one set of RDL. I do 3 sets of leg curls, 1 set of RDLs, and then I go straight into back. So yeah, quads, like pressing, I really do 3 sets of quads, and then 2 sets of leg extensions per week. So 5 sets a week, 2 of them are leg extensions.
You're doing 5 sets of quads a week?
Yeah.
You hear that? 5 sets of quads a week. This is what he looks like. I mean, you can't see the legs, but 5 sets a week. All y'all low volume haters, remember this moment. Yeah, and that's something like I don't think a lot of the younger like science-based community really understands, is like as you get way more experience, you've been lifting for what, 15?
Yeah,
10, 15 years, right? So like you're very experienced, you've obviously put on a ton of muscle. Like it takes a lot more effort for you to do like a low rep range, high intensity, like like the amount of CNS fatigue that's going to generate is going to be significantly more than what I would be doing. And then between me and like someone that's just like beginning, it's like people don't understand like the differences in fatigue and why someone more experienced might want to work in a higher rep range if they wanted to, right? So like for this, the point that you're making, it's like if you were to do every set of every workout with 5 reps, you would be so toast. Like it's just the amount of CNS fatigue you'd be generating on those sets. The lines start to get a little bit more blurred. There's a little bit more gray area when you get more experience because of how how difficult those super heavy sets are in the context of a training session is like having to tax your CNS that much on one set of hack squats is going to affect your session more than a heavy set of hacks for someone who isn't loading as much weight. Even though obviously it's like proportional, right? It's going to be person dependent, but like as you get more experience, those super heavy sets are going to be more taxing. But at the same time, like understanding what fatigue mechanisms are at play so that you can make a good decision based on your experience level is important. So like
it also, you know, those 3 sets of 10 over time creating more fatigue. Yes, but your body also adapts to that higher volumes. I have a client that literally, when he came to me, he was doing 70 sets in a session. It was AJ, doing 70 sets in a session, and he's like, boom, 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 just dripping sweat. And we dropped it down to like 45. I wasn't gonna be like, yo, do 5 sets of leg extension. He'd probably kill himself, you know? So we dropped it down to like 45, and then we slowly moved that down, but his body and his fitness levels adapted to being able to recover. If I did that, I would die. But if I slowly titrated my volume up over time, my body would get used to it. I think that people just like look at a current situation and they look and say, this is why this works or why it doesn't work. It's like, well, your body's very complex and it can adapt to that. And you actually can recover from those 3 sets of 10 in 2 months from now. So if we can work our way up to that, you might get more stimulus and you can recover from it. So
yeah. But yeah.
Let's wrap it, bro. That was great. Honestly, I mean, dude, this is a great gym for one. It's good training with you, you know, like we definitely have similar training styles.
And don't let them hear that. I'll get canceled as a science-based lifter. But yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah. We appreciate y'all tagging along. It was a great lift. We will see y'all in the next one. Appreciate y'all. Take it easy.
See you guys.